A wonderful fact to reflect upon, that every human creature is constituted to be that profound secret and mystery to every other. Dishonesty will stare honesty out of countenance any day in the week, if there is anything to be got by it. Nature gives to every time and season some beauties of its own, and from morning to night, as from the cradle to the grave, it is but a succession of changes so gentle and easy that we can scarcely mark their progress. There are books of which the backs and covers are by far the best parts. It is a pleasant thing to reflect upon, and furnishes a complete answer to those who contend for the gradual degeneration of the human species, that every baby born into the world is a finer one than the last. Great men are seldom over-scrupulous in the arrangement of their attire. Vices are sometimes only virtues carried to excess. There are only two styles of portrait painting, the serious and the smirk. Any man may be in good spirits and good temper when he's well dressed. There ain't much credit in that. It opens the lungs, washes the countenance, exercises the eyes, and softens down the temper. So cry away. I have known a vast quantity of nonsense talked about bad men not looking you in the face. Don't trust that conventional idea. Dignity, and even holiness too sometimes, are more questions of coat and waistcoat than some people imagine. In the little world in which children have their existence, whosoever brings them up, there is nothing so finely perceived and so finely felt as injustice. There are not a few among the disciples of charity who require, in their vocation, scarcely less excitement than the votaries of pleasure in theirs. You don't carry in your countenance a letter of recommendation. It don't make either of them able to do a walking match. A person who can't pay gets another person who can't pay to guarantee that he can pay. Like a person with two wooden legs getting another person with two wooden legs to guarantee that he has got two natural legs. Although a skillful flatterer is a most delightful companion if you have him all to yourself, his taste becomes very doubtful when he takes to complimenting other people. Most men are individuals no longer so far as their business, its activities, or its moralities are concerned. May not the complaint that common people are above their station often take its rise in the fact of uncommon people being below theirs? That sort of half-sigh, which, accompanied by 2 or 3 slight nods of the head, is pity's small change in general society. It's my old girl that advises. She has the head, but I never owned to it before her. Discipline must be maintained. Renunciation remains sorrow, though a sorrow borne willingly. I know I do not exaggerate unconsciously and unintentionally the scantiness of my resources and the difficulty of my life. I know that, but for the mercy of God, I might easily have been, for any care that was taken of me, a little robber or a vagabond. Anything for the quick life, as the man said when he took the situation at the lighthouse. In the little world in which children have their existence, whosoever brings them up, there is nothing so finely perceived and so finely felt as injustice. When a man bleeds inwardly, it is a dangerous thing for himself, but when he laughs inwardly, it bodes no good to other people. Home is a name, a word. It is a strong one, stronger than magician ever spoke or spirit ever answered to in the strongest conjuration. Send forth the child and childish man together, and blush for the pride that libels our own old happy state and gives its title to an ugly and distorted image. The one great principle of English law is to make business for itself. Subdue your appetites, my dears, and you've conquered human nature. Credit is a system whereby a person who cannot pay gets another person who cannot pay to guarantee that he can pay. Christmas time. That man must be a misanthrope indeed, in whose breast something like a jovial feeling is not roused, in whose mind some pleasant associations are not awakened by the recurrence of Christmas. Little Red Riding Hood was my first love. I felt that if I could have married Little Red Riding Hood, I should have known perfect bliss. It was one of those March days when the sun shines hot and the wind blows cold, when it is summer in the light and winter in the shade. Cows are my passion. What I have ever sighed for has been to retreat to a Swiss farm and live entirely surrounded by cows. And China. Reflect upon your present blessings, of which every man has many, not on your past misfortunes, of which all men have some. Fan the sinking flame of hilarity with the wing of friendship, and pass the rosy wine. Oh, the nerves, the mysteries of this machine called man. Oh, the little that unhinges it, poor creatures that we are. The civility which money will purchase is rarely extended to those who have none. There are strings in the human heart that had better not be vibrated. The first rule of business is, do other men, for they would do you. A boy's story is the best that is ever told. Papa, potatoes, poultry, prunes, and prism are all very good words for the lips. It is a far, far better thing that I do than I have ever done. It is a far, far better rest that I go to than I have ever known. Bring in the bottled lightning, a clean tumbler, and a corkscrew. They are not units but fractions. No one is useless in this world who lightens the burden of it to anyone else. Let us be moral. Let us contemplate existence. Life is made of ever so many partings welded together. It was the best of times, it was the worst of times. This is a world of action, and not for moping and droning in. The pain of parting is nothing to the joy of meeting again. I only ask to be free. The butterflies are free. It is a melancholy truth that even great men have their poor relations. We forge the chains we wear in life. Regrets are the natural property of gray hairs. A loving heart is the truest wisdom.